Hi everyone and welcome back to Fire of the Spirit YouTube. Today we are going to be doing another book review. Last month we did Out of the Silent Planet by C.S. Lewis, brought to you by Cindy. And this month we're going to be doing Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan. It's a series of 5 books based on ancient Greek mythology. Okay, so first let me give you a little bit of a plot overview. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, which is the first book, is about this boy, Percy Jackson, obviously, who is 12 years old and he has been kicked out of 6 different schools because every year his ADHD or dyslexia will do something or something strange will happen around him and they end up expelling him. For example, one time they were at a marine park and he accidentally hit a lever and the entire class ended up in the water with. He later finds out that all these strange things happen to him, especially around water, because he is a demigod, which means he is half god, half human. In these books, the Greek gods, Zeus, Poseidon, Hades, and all the other ones are alive and still living in the modern world. And they're having kids with mortals, just like they did in the old days. So basically this book tells the story of Percy and how he goes from being a normal kid like you and me with dyslexia and ADHD to being this hero in this whole new world of monsters and magic and ancient Greek gods that everyone thought were myths, but in reality, or at least in his reality, are still alive and throwing temper tantrums. So basically in the first book, what happens is that Zeus's lightning bolt gets stolen, and he believes that it is the son of Poseidon who stole the lightning bolt, who is Percy. Percy finds out that his father, who he had thought just left him and his mom, was actually the god Poseidon, god of the oceans, god of the sea and ocean. Anyway, what he has to do now is discover who actually stole the lightning bolt, retrieve it, return it back to Zeus, and also try to save his mom in the process, who got kidnapped by Hades, all before the summer solstice on June 21st. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but basically it's just his travel across the country, and it's super funny. Rick Riordan, the author, has this great sense of humor where at one point they have to talk to a poodle. That one was very interesting. And just the fights between the gods are all super just crazy sometimes. Hades gets mad at Zeus, or Zeus gets mad at Hades, and then they get mad at Ares, and then they get mad at Hera because of this other thing, and just the whole dynamic of how the gods are all fighting each other, and then finding out later that it wasn't even the gods who was the enemy here. But I don't want to give away too many spoilers. A couple things you do need to be aware of though when reading these books. They're really child friendly. My little sister read them when she was about 12. I read them when I was 12. I still read them and I'm 17, so it's child friendly but also for all ages. But there is one little problem with the second series, sequel, like the series that is the sequel to, that is the continuation of Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which is Heroes of Olympus. In that one of the characters does turn out to be gay, but it is barely mentioned, and so it isn't really that big of a problem, but it's something you might want to be aware of. And well, there's lots of fighting. It's not gruesome at all. They don't really go into gory details, but there's tons of fighting, so little boys would love it. The movies, there are movies out. The movies are actually pretty good independently, but if you're going to compare them to the book, I think I found 100 things wrong within 20 minutes. So they're not very good adaptations, but they're good movies anyway. And well, I guess I'll give you just a couple reasons why you should read Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Percy Jackson and the Olympians is, well, number one, it is hilarious. It is one of those books that you pick it up and you can't put it down again until you finally finished it, and then you want to pick up the next book. It's really good for kids, just like a good way to get reading again if you start getting bored with all those classics that we read all the time. Although they are all very great books, sometimes you just need something a little more childish and fun. So Percy Jackson is the perfect thing for that. And what else? Ooh, the characters are all very well written. Sometimes you kind of wish there's a little more character development in them, but they're good. Find out why so and so does one thing, or you finally figure out the backstory of why this other character decided to turn on all of his friends. Percy is extremely loyal to his friends. He actually discovers in one of the books that his fatal flaw is his loyalty, that he will not leave anyone behind. Which then you'll see how that plays out. He puts himself in some pretty risky situations just to try to find his friends. Although it isn't very clear throughout the books, they don't bring it up very much. There is one point where they do differentiate God, capital G, and the gods, lowercase g, making sure that you'd understand that they are two different things, and they aren't going to get into the supreme being type God, who is the God that we believe in, but that they're just discussing the simpler the gods of ancient Greece. Well, thank you so much for watching this video.